Go ahead.
You're listening to Calculated Drivel, the Freedom Frontier, Isolation Sessions.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, trick-or-treaters, shall I say. Welcome back to Calculated Drivel, the Freedom Frontier.
Good evening.
I'm joined once again by my colleague and co-host, Matt. How are you, Matt?
I'm good. Long time no see.
Long time no see. I only see you whilst looking at this Apple product I call an iMac, or what people call an iMac.
Yeah, we should say to the listener that this was supposed to be our first live face-to-face recording, but yet again we've been thwarted by the virus.
Yeah, it's got something against us, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's a conspiracy just to stop us.
Yeah, they know that the show just got... before I just blab about it, Sex Crisps, thanks again for putting funds towards us, keeping us afloat. Matt and I have a lot of overheads. We had to shut the office. But yeah, trick-or-treating during the pandemic.
Yeah.
The do's and don'ts.
Some kind of station set up.
A COVID station.
Yeah, your hand sanitizers. You got a perspex screen between each bowl.
Right.
Oh no, you can't have bowls. It's just one suite in a perspex booth.
Yeah.
You wash your hands before and after. This is in the garden.
You have to eat the kid has to eat that sweet in the booth.
Yeah.
And spray it down afterwards.
Yes.
And then carry on their way to the next house and hope that they've got it set up as well as you have.
Yeah. Or maybe that you could fire sweets out of the window.
Some kind of like sweet gun would be quite good.
Yeah.
Obviously not too powerful.
Or maybe this is just the year when you can't have the treat, it's just trick. So you just gotta go around and egg everyone.
Well then what if you're a vegan? What a vegan alternative to egging houses?
Well, this links nicely to last week's episode when we talked about the future of the Scotch egg. Apparently, we got an email in explaining that there is actually a vegan egg which has been created by scientists.
Okay.
So it's an expensive option, and I think it has the feel of a boiled egg.
Right.
So it's got a bit more weight to it, maybe.
Yeah, just leaves a bit of a thudding sound against the window.
But it could work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But you make sure you sanitize your hands before touching the egg, because you don't want to spread coronavirus.
No.
Via the projectile.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Well, on the topic of the trick-or-treating, I thought you were going to go down the route of kid goes outside the front of the house with maybe the mum or the dad, whichever one is not, the other one's staying in the house. So like, let's say dad stays in the house, dresses up as a different dad, just like, I don't know, a wig, anything really. And then the kid and the mum knock on the doors if it's someone else's house, trick or treat. And then he opens the door, hello, or can we have some sweets? And then they just pretend it's, like it's a neighbour, but it's actually his dad. But his dad's got to be good at acting. That's the really.
But he can't be too good at acting, because then
freak him out.
The kid might think that his mum's having an affair, and it might stir up.
But they actually think it's someone else.
Yeah, and then maybe they are having an affair, and this is how it all gets revealed. Maybe that's a good thing. Don't have affairs. That's the moral.
Yeah. Anyone who's listening to Calculated Drivel tonight, who's having affairs, had an affair, or planning on having an affair, we want you to hit the road, don't we, Matt?
Yeah.
Because none of that's not what Calculated Drivel is about.
It's not in our core values.
Yeah, we didn't say, it's not called Calculated Drivel, the affairs or current affairs, or it's none of that.
Current affairs would be
know,
confusing.
That could be a new feature, actually, though, having said that.
Current affairs,
Current affairs, and then we just sort of
talk about
anyone who's having affairs.
In these high-profile kind of what do you call it? What's like another word for an affair?
An entanglement.
Yes.
Apparently.
High-profile entanglement.
Yeah. Well, if we put it under that title, maybe we'll accept it. But Matt, is it time for our returning feature?
I think
from last week? Get us started.
Cue the theme tune.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken shop.
Chicken cut.
Chicken chat.
So I went round the streets with a 2-meter long boom microphone and just asked people to say chicken chat.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy, I imagine English wasn't his first language, but I think he's the second last person in the montage to say it, and he says, it sounds more like, kicking hat or cat.
Yeah,
or something,
it's like kicking chicken hat or something like that.
So I don't know what he thinks this feature's about, but he said he would listen. So if you're listening, thank you for your contribution. Let's get started. I thought I would lead this week's chicken chat. I've got one breaking news story, and then I've got a short chicken face quiz for you. So, firstly, this is a chicken in the COVID world. The headline reads, "A 6-year-old girl nearly choked on a chicken nugget from McDonald's, which contained a blue surgical face mask."
Wow.
What have you got to say about that?
I like the way our quizzes and questions are statements, and then you just hold the mic towards me. That's what we like at Calculated.
This isn't
like
the quiz.
Pressure. This isn't the quiz. Sorry, I'm used to my quizzes being like that. So she was at McDonald's. Where was she in the States? I'm guessing.
I mean, I don't have that information, I'm afraid. No further questions.
Okay, so she was in McDonald's and she was eating some chicken nuggets, or chuggets, as I like to call them. She was eating that, and there was a bit of a blue face mask, or there was a full face mask in this nugget.
Full face mask, I think.
Full face mask, okay. How did it happen?
How can you put yourself in the shoes of the chef?
Okay, so if I put myself in the shoes of one of the chefs at that particular branch of McDonald's, I imagine they've got to wear the masks whilst preparing food, and maybe they had a spare mask on the side, and someone kind of knocked it with their elbow into the chicken nugget mix.
That must be it.
It's got to have gone
mixture.
into a mixer of some kind, and then been through the mixing, it just went to the right in, got sort of consumed by the batter, and then during the pouring of into the molds, it must have they must have been really busy that day, because you would spot that, you'd hope, a whole mask.
I hope so, wouldn't you? I can't imagine my surprise biting into that. Awful. And a quote from the mother, "It was a mask. It was absolutely baked into it." She didn't actually say if she was happy or sad about this.
Yeah, she doesn't sound like a great mum by the sounds of it. It was a mask. It was fully baked into it.
But she might have been saying that in a positive way. It was a mask. It was baked into it. It's great.
Yeah. To be fair, maybe it was just it's showing how much we're really aware of this mask, the importance of mask wearing. We're gonna shove that point down their throats to the point where we actually eat the mask. Okay, that's an interesting one. There we go.
That's the news. We've got 3 little questions for you.
Let's go.
The first one: what is the record number of yolks found in a chicken egg?
Okay.
What's the most that you've found for a start?
Most I've seen. Yolks. I want to say 3, but I'd be lying, so 2.
Yeah, I'm the same. I feel like I would remember.
3
if
would
there
be
were more.
quite, yeah, if I saw 3, it would be pretty monumental.
Finding
yeah,
2 is exciting enough.
I've had multiple double yolks in a
Yeah.
batch, but no, never triplets.
It's exciting. The thrill of a double yoker is something that's missing from my life at the moment. Maybe it should.
If you get a double yoker, are you almost tempted not to scramble if you were planning on scrambling and fry instead?
Totally. In fact, I once had a soft-boiled egg that was a double yoker, and I just felt like I'd missed a trick because you don't quite get the benefit of it.
No.
But anyway, so you've had 2.
I've
You've
had
not
double
3.
yokers. No,
What
no,
do you think
yeah.
the world record is?
The world record. It can't be double figures. 4 yolks in an egg.
Double it and add 1. It's 9.
9. I was actually thinking 9. I was like, well, it can't be double figures. 9 yolks.
Yeah, I know.
Is
Can
this
you
a
imagine?
Is this a chicken? Is this an ostrich?
Apparently, this is a chicken egg. I don't know if they bred it especially for this, but can you imagine cracking into
A
I don't know how
9
big-
yolk egg.
How big would that egg have to be?
I mean, the egg. It'd be mad if the egg was quite standard in size and had 9 little yolks in.
I
That
don't
would be
know.
quite trippy.
I know the excitement about the little bit of excitement you get when it's 2 yolks, and if you might say to your partner, it's like, oh, it's a double yolker. If you had 3, you'd be like, you're not gonna believe this. It's 3
And if you don't
yolks.
have a partner, you go and go, it's a double. Oh,
Well, yeah, let's not get into that. Sad message.
write it in
yeah.
a diary, I guess. They could do that.
I can imagine if you had 3, it would be very exciting, and you'd be telling your friends. 9, I think I would just be a bit scared almost.
Yeah, I think I'd be disturbed. I might end up in hospital. In shock.
Yeah. And I don't. I mean, if you weren't with anyone, no one would believe you.
Yeah, if you didn't
Even
have
if you took a
modern
photo.
technology like a camera or a phone or anything,
But
let's
even
say
if you had
didn't-
that, unless you filmed yourself cracking the egg, if you just had a picture of it, they'd be like, "Oh no, you just combined."
that's
9
Photoshop.
eggs, you
That's
loser."
Photoshop.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird thing to Photoshop. Oh yeah, and pretend I don't know. And also, if you're gonna Photoshop it, you probably do 4 eggs. 4 yolks.
Yeah, 9's too much.
Yeah, it's too much pressure. I'm gonna take that information into this week.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
anyone at home has had more than 2 yolks in an egg, then let us know.
Yeah, drop us a
If you
comment on
haven't.
YouTube.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you've never even had a double yoker, that would be tragic. Let us know.
Let us know. Question 2.
Question 2.
What is the world record? We're going on a world record theme here. What is the world record for the most eggs laid in a single day by a single chicken? By single chicken, I mean one chicken, not a chicken.
Not
without
a chicken
partner.
who's not currently taken. Okay, so for a chicken that's single, I'm thinking of a chicken who's not with anyone now. Who's sort of-
Does that mean they lay more because they're more free?
they could lay more actually. Yeah, they could lay more. I'm gonna go for in a single day the chicken laid 6. No, I'm gonna go 11 eggs. There you go. 11 eggs.
You were very close with your first guess. It's 7.
I think it's because of the 9 on the yolks. I thought I'm gonna go big again on this one.
Yeah,
I missed out
yeah.
on the last one.
Fair enough. Which I was like, yeah, I
7.
thought it was a bit low, but I mean, if you imagine 7 eggs compared to the size of a chicken, then
A lot of content.
it's a lot of mass.
Yeah. I hope they weren't all double yolkers. That would be pretty.
Oh god, they're all
That chicken,
9
steroid
yolks.
chicken or something.
Maybe the people are breeding these monster chickens.
Yeah. If
Final-
there are any chicken farmers listening, please do drop us a line and
Yeah.
let us know what you've seen.
Please let us know. And the final question for you in this week's Chicken Chat is: there are only 2 countries in the world that don't have chickens. What are they?
Okay. I'm gonna go for Antarctica as a continent. That's not a country.
Well, it's what I've got written down.
Okay.
So that's one of them.
Yeah, I've never seen a chicken on a glacier before.
If you have, write in.
Yeah. Chickens, Antarctica doesn't seem to bode well for them. And another place that I would not expect to see a chicken would be... I'm going to go mountainous region. No, I'm not going to say Alps. I've seen chickens in the Alps. Not a live one, just in a shop.
No, this has to be live.
Oh, live. Okay. Egypt. I'm not seeing a chicken. Actually, no. Can I? No. They'll have chickens in Egypt. I'm gonna go for. Nepal. I don't know why. Probably got loads.
Yeah, I think they've got loads. No, it was actually a bit of a curveball. It's the Vatican City.
The Vatican City.
Which is that little country which is like inside Rome.
They chickens were banished from there or something because years ago for some sort of religious reason or I don't
Maybe
know.
this is how we can get calculated drivel on the map, by changing that statistic, by posting
A chicken. Yeah.
A live chicken.
Well, sort of airdrop a chicken into the Vatican City.
What's the Pope's address?
Pope's address.
What's that building that he lives in?
Yeah, we could.
I'm sure we can
straight
find it
to
out.
the Pope.
If anyone knows, or if anyone wants to just do it for us, then
Take a
let us know.
photo evidence. We want, and we
Yeah,
don't want any
yeah.
Photoshop nonsense, guys. We've seen that
Tag
before.
it, hashtag post the Pope a chicken.
Yeah, post the Pope a chicken.
Get that trending.
Post the Pope a chicken.
Calculated Drivel, the Freedom Frontier, is proudly sponsored by Sex Crisps. Use code I've Seen a Dog for 5% off your first order. Sex Crisps. You know you want to.
I was just thinking about, just to break up the quizzes slightly, do you want to read our email correspondence for this week?
Of course, if you...
You should have it in your email.
Let's bring it up.
Email's a great way to stay in touch with one another.
We're now bringing in the latest correspondence, which
Yeah, people who have emailed in at calculatedrivel@gmail.com.
Okay, so I have an email correspondence on the topic of the bus replacement service, because we were talking about those in the last show, and you'll know that Matt and I are not a fan, and most people aren't. So if you haven't watched that show, check it out. It's the last episode. So this correspondent has said, on the topic of bus replacements, I once soiled myself on a replacement bus service to Dagenham, brackets, Elizabeth from Dagenham, close brackets.
Thanks for writing.
Interesting.
No further information.
No, they soiled themselves on a replacement bus service to Dagenham, brackets. I mean, I like the way that seems to be really important to them, where they were, the location they were travelling from and to. I don't know if there was something waiting for them in Dagenham that had them on the edge of their seat.
Well, she must be. She must have been going home if she's from Dagenham.
Yeah, maybe there was a sort of family issue or something that she was worried about, or maybe she had a curry the night before, or had some sort. Maybe she was ill. Maybe she might have just been a bit ill. So yeah, thank you, whoever that was. They've remained anonymous here, so well, thanks for getting in touch anyway. On the topic of soup, I asked Matt last episode whether he'd considered making his own soup, and Will from Tunbridge Wells has emailed in saying, I have considered making soup. fair enough. That was the question, and he's answered it. Thank you, Will.
Thanks for that.
He's not said what type of soup, but I don't think that.
I mean, we should have been more specific. That's our fault,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. That's brilliant. We should get Will on the show at some point if we can.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say, clearly.
And maybe he can enlighten us on what type of soup he's considered making. Good fun. And the final one, actually not the final one, there's a few here actually on the topic of Toy Story, which we know
Yeah, we got
listeners,
quite...
was... How would you describe it? I mean, it was a heated one. You really let loose on that.
I feel like I hope I didn't embarrass myself, but it's a topic I feel quite passionate about, and
You've held that in for too long.
I had a lot to get off my chest, yeah. And we had a big response from the listeners, so it clearly kind of sparked the imagination of a lot of people.
And I think it's worth questioning some of these characters from the past in some of these old movies. I mean, you kind of just, especially when you watch them as a kid, you're like, hang on, let's rewatch Toy Story, or let's rewatch Ice Age or Monsters Inc. I mean, to be fair, Monsters Inc. was brilliant. I haven't got a bad thing to say about that. But on the topic of Toy Story, this person who wants to remain anonymous says, Woody from Toy Story is an absolute nightmare. Everything about him creeps me out.
Yeah, pretty similar view to me then.
Yeah. They shouldn't remain anonymous. It's a shame. You could meet up with them for a pint when it's possible. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you spurred them on, or they've been holding that in for a while as well, but he is, I can see it. He is a bit of a... Maybe you could go as Woody for Halloween. There you go.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Andrew from Gateshead in the northeast, he said, how dare you call Woody a square? Yes, he might be intelligent, but he's also adventurous. Bo Peep is lucky to have him.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
You know what also, makes me suspicious of Andrew is Woody's kid who looks after him is called Andy.
Did you think that's him?
Looks like it. I didn't know he was from Gateshead. I thought he was an American kid.
They don't actually say in the film where he's from though, so it's just implied that it's America.
Was it set in Gateshead, but it was just sunny when they did the whole animation for it? Well, listeners, by the way, Gateshead's close to Newcastle in the northeast, just south of Scotland. If you're not that familiar with the UK, don't want to start talking about a place if you're not, But that is interesting. So he was annoyed at you, Matt, for that. And the next email that we had in was from Nancy in Kettering. Now, Nancy says here, Woody go fuck himself. What an absolute pansy. I'd let Buzz Lightyear give me a... Sorry, I mean, this is an adult show anyway, so there shouldn't be too many kids listening anyway. But if they are, shut your ears, go to bed, because Nancy in Kettering has ideas with Buzz. I'd let Buzz Lightyear give me a good seeing to. To infinity and beyond.
Nice.
Nancy, keep your messages coming in. I like Nancy. She sounds like she's got a belly full of fire.
Is she attracted to the character? Because it's still a toy. It's quite... Is it the personality?
People can like toys, Matt.
That's true.
It's 2020.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just because you're an adult doesn't mean, But anyway, Nancy, keep your messages coming in. We'd like to maybe get you on the show at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And here we've got one. This one says, hi guys, long time listener, first time emailer. I've actually met Woody from Toy Story. Brackets, his real name is Keith. My granddad was called Keith. He's completely different when he's not on camera. ... It's called acting. Having said that, he was a bit touchy-feely. Did you see that? Did you ever predict that sort of size?
I'm not surprised
to
at
him?
all, to be fair. Yeah, he strikes... I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of assumed that he was
He strikes
the same.
me as a creep.
He struck me as the kind of person who might be a bit of a creep, but I did assume he was kind of similar off camera to on camera.
Yeah.
But I guess he's a good actor, clearly, but...
Yeah. I mean, there's no excuses for that sort of Hollywood, you want to make it in Hollywood, you gotta do this stuff, so, no.
Yeah, not weird. That. So thanks to the correspondence. Keep them coming in. Calculatedrivel at gmail.com.
Calculatedrivel@gmail.com, and brilliant. It's nice to have some people reaching out. Moving on to the questionnaire for my fellow co-host.
Will you answer all these questions on a postcard if you please?
Matt, are you raring and ready to go?
I am.
This Sunday evening, the clocks have changed. It feels extremely dark outside.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about
The nights are closing in. Well, I didn't even realise until someone on the radio said the clocks had changed.
There's always a radio host who takes it upon himself to tell people that the clocks have changed, like they knew before everyone else.
Well, he
Strange.
did know before me.
Well, you don't leave the damn house, Matt. Right, so, okay, if you could force a colleague at Calculated Drivel to wear a particular type of shoe for 2 years straight, and when I say shoe, I mean pair of shoes, any type, what type of shoe would be the most hilarious in your opinion? And which colleague at Calculated Drivel would you choose?
I'm instantly drawn to stilettos.
Right. God, brutal.
Just because it would be funny. It would be really funny for the first week. But then I can imagine 11 months in, 10 months in, just being like, alright Mark, how's it going? And you just being so fed up.
Yeah.
I imagine by this point you might have even took to just living your life in a wheelchair, still wearing the shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my initial thought. And I'd put Hugh in a pair of just clown shoes.
Clown shoes. I'd put you in a pair of Crocs for 2 years.
They're practical.
Crocs. They're quite actually. You'll be very comfortable.
Yeah, I don't leave the house anyway, so.
Oh, that was a bad choice, Crocs. And also, guys, like always, comment down below. Tell us what pair of shoes you would force a friend to wear for 2 years, and what would be and why. I think normally it's just a thought of maybe some shoes. I don't know, maybe some ski boots, but then maybe that doesn't count as shoes. The next question for you, Matt.
Is this meant to be quick fire? Am I not thinking about it too much?
Never think about it too much. Just go with your instincts.
Yeah.
Which job would you hold down for longer? Now, this is a returning feature in a way, the job holding down. Which job would you hold down for longer? Lifeguard or zookeeper?
Zookeeper, 100%. I'm
100%.
I'm not great in the water, and I like animals.
Okay.
I think I could get into that. I think I could get into zookeeping. There's quite a lot going on as well. I don't know how it works really, but I feel like if you got to move around and have a go on each of the animals, then don't take that the wrong way. Then it could be alright. But whereas lifeguarding, I feel like, how often does something happen as well? You'd be like hoping for someone to drown or to start drowning just so you can have something to do.
Yeah, you either go from very bored to in seriously intense environment where you're trying to save someone from drowning. So it's like two extremes.
I actually had a friend who was a lifeguard, and he said a lot of the activity he did was just fishing fecal matter from children out of the water. And they actually had a
Right.
special like telescopic fishing net for that job.
Well, that leads me on to my next question. Where in the world would you least like to go fishing?
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Someone couldn't pay you enough, and you've got to pick a place, even if it's.
It's a very good and specific question.
It's a 1 week fishing trip, and you're there. You're staying local. It'd be a nightmare.
It's a tough one because some of the places that I think would be like really dangerous, like in the Amazon or something, would also be like a life-changing, amazing experience.
Most likely, yeah.
Maybe like South Sudan, where there's it's getting a bit dark. Somewhere where there's a war happening.
You're worried about machine guns firing overhead, and you're trying to do this tranquil fishing.
You're contractually obliged to continue fishing, even though there's shots.
Your
fired.
life is in serious, in grave danger.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Miscellaneous war zone.
Miscellaneous war zone. Okay. Guys, let us know where you would least like to go fishing. The next question. If I were to give you £1 million to set up a farm, what livestock would you opt for out of chickens, cows, or sheep? And why?
Just the normal one.
Why would you can't have all three. Which one would you go, okay, I'm going to invest the money, I'll set up the infrastructure, chickens, cows, or sheep?
You got £1 million, but you can only have like the standard animals. I'd go for chickens because have you ever seen those chickens that have we're going back into chicken chat again here, but their legs look like they've got flares, like trousers. They got like fluffy disco chickens.
Yeah.
So I'd have just a purely disco chicken farm.
Okay. So it could be an attraction. People come in and see the chickens. It's not even like a poultry, like Tesco service, food.
Maybe I'd try and selectively breed them to lay the eggs with the most yolks and try and beat that world record.
Just every day you wake up, crack of dawn, with that strategy leading you over a 10-year period. You still only get up to double yolkers. And okay, this one's getting a little bit political, but not too political. You have to prepare the worst tasting fruit salad, worst combination of fruit you could put together for Donald Trump to eat, so you could watch him not enjoy this horrifically, the flavors contrast too much, it's not good, and he has to eat the whole damn thing. What fruits are you putting in there?
Initially comes to mind, long-term fans of the show will relate to this because of our topic of the worst fruit to eat on a date. And I'd definitely put a pomegranate in there, but not, maybe cut in half, but not de-seeded or whatever. So just something about the image of Donald Trump trying to eat all the seeds out of a pomegranate. Yeah. And then maybe I'd also put what's like an overly ripe papaya. Because I don't think maybe I've never had a good papaya, but I think they're not that nice, and the
flavour's quite odd. You eat them because you're told, they contain a digestive enzyme called papain, which is meant to be good for the immune system. Well, I did anyway. I didn't enjoy it though, even if I knew it was meant to be good for you. It's a strange flavour, papaya.
And I think if it was a bit overripe, it would add an extra level of kind of greasiness, which would make it even more difficult to get into the pomegranate. And then the rest is lychees, unpeeled.
That's quite good. I'd be tempted to throw some tomatoes in there just because they're a fruit, but they would just really not work as a flavour. They're more of a technical addition.
I didn't think about the flavours actually. I was going all about practicalities, but yeah, get a few tomatoes in there. Maybe some grapes. Grapes are alright, but I think it might contrast badly.
And my final sort of question for you, Matt, and this one actually links back with our spooky feature, which is Halloween coming up. Lots of sweets are getting eaten, Matt, whether it's indoors or outdoors, trick-or-treating or not. Toothpaste is important, especially this time of year for kids. What's your favourite flavour of toothpaste? And if you could invent a new flavour, what would it be?
Are they not all new?
And why? You'd be surprised, Matt. I've got a list of some of the toothpaste that have been made.
I think the best one I've ever had is mint.
Mint. Very popular mint, isn't it?
Very popular. I think I don't know what you think about this, but the names. I had to buy toothpaste on our weekly shop last week, and
how was that, by the way?
Overwhelming, and it's an ordeal, but it's nice to get out of the house because it's the only reason I'm leaving the house at the moment. But yeah, the overwhelming selection of toothpaste is ridiculous, and the names that they give them to try and stand out almost puts me off. They're like professional expert teeth whitening. But I'm not prepared. I don't think I'm skilled enough to take teeth brushing professionally yet. I'm still an amateur. Will I even have the skills to use a professional toothpaste?
It's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, isn't it? Especially at crack of dawn in the morning when you've got other things to worry about, haven't you?
Are they just for dentists?
Pressure. Well, I think it also they put too much effort into how technical and how good this stuff is. It's like, I'll be the judge of if it's good, but if someone compliments my smile and go, oh, your teeth are looking a bit whiter, then I'll know, it's like, let the paste do the talking.
Right? Yes. They're all like so many different things. I just want them to clean my teeth. And like, if they clean your teeth, then surely they'll get whiter. It's just like a...
I mean, that's sort of, that's the basic thing that I expect from toothpaste, is it's cleaning my teeth. Anything else is extra. So, Matt, here are some of the flavours that are legit and have been marketed and put out there as products. I don't know how popular they are, some probably more than others, but bacon is one.
No.
Cupcake is one. Now, I feel like that might have been Sex Crisps. They like those sort of anonymous flavours, like the roast dinner flavour that Sex Crisps do.
Do Sex Crisps do a toothpaste flavour? I think they do.
That's a good point, actually. They do a mint flavour, yeah, spearmint, one of them. It's still salty though, which I haven't quite got that one right.
I don't know. I quite like it, but yeah, it's an acquired taste maybe.
Steady, Matt. Where are you going with this? What you do with the Sex Crisp? Some of it's for the show, some of it's for the Patreon subscriber show that we're going to be dropping very soon. Coffee is another one. Aubergine is an odd one.
Oh God. What? Who suggested that? How did that get through the...
No one suggested it. I think someone just, they say innovation is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. And this person, they obviously thought it was a eureka moment.
A horrible accident at the toothpaste factory.
Yeah. Someone's elbow, sort of similar to the face mask in the chicken nugget. You sort of elbow knocks the rogue eggplant, if you're American and you're listening, or aubergine, into the vat, I guess. I like the idea of happy accidents in factories where something's discovered.
Yeah. God, aubergine toothpaste.
And the last one I've got here is Oreo, which is fairly standard.
God, I think the problem with this is, and maybe the reason it hasn't taken off, is that people don't brush their teeth for the enjoyment.
No.
And I find the mint refreshing. I've never thought, oh, I wish this tasted. I don't know. Maybe I'm narrow-minded, but I just.
It's kind of funny thinking when they first created toothpaste, whether they immediately opted for mint as the starting flavour, or I mean maybe it didn't have a flavour at the start. Toothpaste experts listening,
Maybe
anyone who worked at Colgate.
Maybe they started as aubergine, and maybe those are the flavours they worked through before they tried mint.
Maybe it was a throwback flavour.
Yeah.
If anyone listening has worked in the toothpaste industry, we are looking to get someone on board as a specialist, in fact.
Yeah. I got one last little thing for you, and it involves a YouTube video which you have to watch first. I don't know if we could include that in the video for the listener, but if not, I'll give you a brief synopsis.
Are you sending me the link?
Yeah, hang on, I just need to find it. You might have seen this before, but I watched it. It came up the other day, and it's just absolutely great. It's a minute long, so we can cut out a bit of this in the recording. Okay. But I sent it to you on Facebook.
Let's have a look.
It's a bit about halfway through. This little kid makes some quite threatening comments, and it's really great.
Okay, so here we are, and for the listener, the video is going to play on that billboard across the highway now.
You're on the naughty list.
I will swear, trust me.
Well, that's why you're on the naughty list, because you're being naughty right now. So you're going to be on the naughty list if you keep talking like that.
No, because Father Christmas has not been very nice to me.
Because you're being naughty, so you're on the naughty list.
No, I'm not. I'm on the good list, actually.
You're not, because you ain't being good.
I am on the good list. If you keep saying that word again and again and again, I'm not on naughty list.
Father Christmas rang me last night when I was at work and said, you better tell Jackson to start being a good boy or he's going to stay on the naughty list and he won't get no presents for Christmas. That's what he said to me. So you got to start being a good boy.
Then I will do an uppercut to him.
No, you won't do it. No, what?
Punch him. Punch his beard off.
You're just silly, man.
Hey, trust me. I'm not on that list.
You're on the naughty list, mate.
No, I'm not.
Well, then be a good boy, then.
Oh, that's good. How did you come across that? That's brilliant.
I don't even know. I don't know. I think it was just suggested to me on YouTube or something. It's just something about the... I mean, for the listener, if you are listening to this and you can't see the video, it is a small child. I'm not very good at guessing the ages of children, but he's old enough to talk, not quite old enough to go to university.
Yeah.
He has been told by his father that he's going on the naughty list, and in response to that, he threatens to uppercut Santa and to, quote, punch his beard off. Which...
it's a lot of power, this kid's got. You could have to have a hell of a punch.
Listeners might remember I have quite a turbulent history with Santa Claus. Since when I was young, he took my dummy from me, or at least.
This was in one of the shows, actually.
Yeah, this is what I was led to believe by my mum, at least, that Santa took my dummy, and ever since then, he's been on my naughty list, if anything.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Guys, drop us a line on in the comments if you've ever had a year where you've actually thought, you know what, Santa's going on the naughty list, because
he's been on my naughty list.
Especially after Christmas Day, when you've seen what he's dropped off and it's not aligned with what you put on your wish list. And you were very specific about what you needed. Not wanted, needed. And they get you something similar, but it's not quite that.
So anyway, this led me to think of a question to pose to you, Mark. It's, have you ever been wronged by any mythical creatures? Have you ever been misled by the Tooth Fairy, or have you ever threatened to give the Easter Bunny a
taken
Chinese
down
bird?
a rabbit hole by the Easter Bunny?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the tooth fairy is a really trippy idea when you think about it. I mean, they're a fairy, but they can have a bag of quids or bucks or pounds or whatever the equivalent is where you guys are listening from. And I thought, so I've lost a tooth. Fine, normal thing for a child or maybe even an adult lose a tooth. Some people call them milk teeth, which is weird. I don't know if you've ever heard a kid say, "Oh, my milk teeth, I've lost a milk tooth." But yeah, so you lose a tooth, put it under your pillow, fine, I'm with you. The tooth fairy comes and rewards you for just doing a basic human thing. It's not like any work's gone into that.
I saw it more as payment. Like, not rewarding you, she's just buying it off you. Yeah.
Well, she's stockpiling all these kids' teeth
What's
in
she
some sort
doing
of
with
warehouse.
She must have
That's
so
odd.
many by now.
Old as well. Like, I remember, like, how long has she been collecting these for? And is there a whole cult of, like, people who now work for her? I'm sure she doesn't do all the work.
That's true. And what are they grinding them down to use in something or
old medicines or something?
like
Yeah,
a drug or something? Yeah.
that's another one, listeners. If you have any thoughts on the tooth fairy, and also she works all year round as well, which is
Take a day off.
yeah, it's a seasonal thing normally. This stuff. Easter Bunny doesn't work all year round. Santa doesn't work all year. He barely works these days.
Yeah.
Barely works.
What is a bonfire, just for the listeners?
Ooh, a bonfire.
And why is it called a bonfire? Is that French for good fire?
Yeah, so je parle un peu de français en l'école. Il y a 15 ans, je suis allé en Corse pour faire une exchange scolaire. And yeah, I did a French exchange in Corse because I was just a bit of French, not related to the bonfire. But yeah, a bonfire is a good fire. It's a fire that is well coordinated in terms of you've wet the area of grass, or if you're posh, grass around the fire, so that if it does start blazing high, you know that you've got that water barrier, so you're not going to have a Australian forest fire or Californian on your hands. So that's good.
I didn't know that. That's good
one
tip.
good thing for especially if it's a dry location. So that's a good fire or a bonfire, and it's a fire that you have in. You set it up and you set it alight on or within a couple of weeks of the 5th of November. I mean, ideally, a week either side of the 5th of November, bonfire night.
Yeah, I think anything past that, is that just
This is
a
a
normal
Christmas
fire?
camp. It's a campfire, I guess.
Campfire.
Or it's
Yeah, when does a campfire become a bonfire?
and November the 5th.
Okay.
But it has to be well cool. It has to be. I can't stress this enough. It has to be managed properly, right? Have you ever been to a bonfire where it gets out of, it just becomes a news headline to the papers, That's not a bonfire. And there you have it.
Yeah.
Shall we,
Very good.
well, thank you, world listeners, for tuning in.
Don't forget
this will
to
be
subscribe. We
Yeah.
passed the 10 subscriber mark. It's very exciting, but we want to get to 20.
Yeah,
So just
we're
for God's
aiming
sake.
high now, guys. For God's sake, if you enjoy the content, if you want more content, if you want to come on the show, we want to get toothpaste experts on, we want to get
If you're an expert
anyone
in
on.
anything, we
Drop
want
us
to
a
hear from
line,
you.
give us
Yeah.
a call, and yeah, shall we? Let's hit stop on this, Matt.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Calculated drivel. The Freedom Frontier. Isolation Sessions.